Today I'll be reviewing the Sputnik Safe, which was the safe that came out just when skins were introduced in the game, which was October 2015 for Crime Fest 2. It was released at the same time as the Crime Fest 2, which I reviewed last week. So that's one of the early saves. So the quality is a little bit uneven, and there's some sort of theme between skins, but I don't think it's all that consistent, except maybe in the higher rarities skins. And to be honest, that's pretty much it for this one. Let's take a look at what we have. The pixel shotgun, as its name implies, it's pixelated. The kind of white grayish pixels, which to me I don't know why it would be a Russian Sputnik kind of themed gun. It's a decent shotgun for a common, actually. It used to be pretty popular because it had the boost was a concealment boost, I think. I used to have it. It was one of my first skins, I think. And I think it's okay. It just doesn't really fit the theme of what the safe is supposed to be, at least in my mind. Red Stars, obviously the name comes from the Soviet Red Stars, I guess, which could also apply to, I guess, Americans as well, but not in that case. That's a rather ugly skins when you can see that the stars are not really lined up very well. It's a little bit of a mishmash of unaligned stuff with some orange touch and some unmodded black parts on the top anyway. It's not really nice. It's a skin that they put together really quick, and you can see that there's some kind of ugly stuff in here that could have avoided, but I heard the skins were, like the early saves were not made by this one person, they were made by many people, which stopped making skins, and that could explain the difference in quality. Arctic Plains, it's a little bit like the Pixel, but a little more contrasted. Black and white this time, Pixel frames. It's a little bit messy, but I guess it's passable. The arrow, I guess, doesn't get skinned. It's the same all across the Plains Rider skins anyway. So that's not a particularly popular skin. There are better bows than this. That's another story. I have no idea why Leopard would be in a Russian Sputnik Safe, but it's here anyway, so we have to deal with it. So again, the Leopard print, a little bit like on the Crime Fest safe. I wonder if some things were overlapping between those two safes since they came out at the same time anyway. So it's brown, copper, metal. It's kind of ugly. It's never been a popular skin. It's actually often a bit of a joke anyway. So that's not much to say about it, except it's ugly and funny in a way. Okay, headline, rocket launcher. That's, I guess, more in theme with some Russian letters and so on the rocket. It's orange, metal, red. Simple. Not really my cup of tea, but it's okay, I guess. It's passable. It's just a common anyway. Cosmonaut, that used to be pretty popular. I think it still is, sort of. I don't know why cosmonauts are supposed to have golden or yellow parts on them, but I suppose they do. This one is golden yellow with metal parts. It's clean, it's pleasant to look at. Simple, so it's worthy of a common really. Saint Basil, that's an uncommon, the first uncommon. The body of everything is metal brown. It's pretty simple. Doesn't look all that different, but the distinguishing part is the canister, which has the Saint Basil Cathedral from St. Petersburg on it. Again, that part is okay, but then you look at the bottom and it looks messed up. You don't know what they did with the texture there. It's pretty ugly. Like it's like partially textured. It looks fine from the outside, but not from behind. Again, another early skin that's not well finished, but still somewhat popular. Again, back on, I don't know, I wonder if this was a Crime Fest skin or not, because again, leopard pattern, but blue and white, they called it ice leopard, I guess. I suppose it looks okay, but it's still a little messy and too simplistic for me. It's still kind of funny anyway. Again, you see everything does not always line up, so but it's not a big deal. I think they did more effort on this one than other skins overall. Stripe on, that's one of the early Carrefour skins, and it was the least ugly of the early ones. If you look at Safe Crasher or Fade Zebra, which are really flashy and kind of weird, this is more classic, I guess. Not great, kind of brownish gold stripes. Not necessarily parallel, but uh, not really flashy, so it was sort of popular early on. But it kind of faded quickly once the Nitro came out from one of the community saves. It's a decent skin, nothing really appealing, kind of simple, so it deserves to be either a common or an uncommon in my book. Black Bull, I used to like that quite a bit early on. It was one of my Bronco skins because of the black body and the orange handle, a little bit of touch of blue. That's a pretty clean skin, but simple, so it's worthy of a uncommon or common. That's not much else to say. It was replaced by much better skins, obviously. A little bit of blue touch on the hammer and trigger and so on. Into the rares, that's Angry Bear Bernetti. That used to be one of my first Bernetti skins. It was pretty expensive in the first month or two, but then things settled down when better skins came out. And I used to like that skin a fair bit. I kind of liked the palette pattern of gray, black, and grayish, as well as the bear. It looks kind of messed up where the hammer is. You can see the maw of the bear closing and opening when you shoot, but that's still not the greatest. It was, there are now better skins, but it's still kind of decent. They put some effort into that, a little bit more, into aligning everything together. No, that's another story. Matryoshka, I think it's the name coming from Russian wooden pieces that fit into each other, like you see on the sticker. It was a Dallas, and all the other ones kind of fit successively into each other. That's what it is in Russian, I think. While the sticker is kind of cool and ties to the name, I'm fine with that. The main texture with kind of fish scale, gold and black, it's kind of ugly. It does not work for me. At least not on a whole body, just all over. Anyway, that's just kind of ugly, not working. Now, Helmet Space Program, that's a somewhat popular M308, at least from the early days, because the heart attack was too expensive anyway. But this one is kind of nice. It's a little bit of detail between the gold, the black metal, the Sputnik sticker, and the stars along the body. So there is a little bit of contrasting colors, which is kind of nice. So I was never a fan personally. It was a little too flashy, but it's really popular. I've seen it, people looking really for it. So overall, it's a decent skin. The Clarion Rifle Breaching Owl. That's probably, yeah, again an early skin. Um, Not super well aligned. You can see the owl here, but they didn't really fit the sticker well to the body. They could have put more of the owl here, unless it's a design choice, I guess, just to show the eyes. And again, the owl on the stock is somewhat misaligned, so they cut off like the wings, which show up on the other side. They could have maybe scaled the sticker a little bit down and fit it all in that surface pretty well and nice, but they did not. So, and they used some kind of weird, like feathery or wheat-shaped things for the whole body, which is a little awkward for me. I don't know what relates to owl unless it's just a feathery pattern. And again, like the early Clarion skins, one side, like the player side, is nice, but outside nice side is just regular stuff. And they could have just made one side nice and copy it on the other side, but they didn't do that, which, well, lazy time again. So popular skin, not my cup of tea, but it's, oh well, there's some work, a little bit more work involved in here. They could have done a little bit more detailing and try not to use wheat kind of pattern all over the place. Bullet Bear Moscone. That was probably one of my first Moscones because it kind of has some nice detail, gold and white, on the barrel that you can see that I liked, and it also goes under barrel. And it has somewhat decent art with the bears and the bullets following it on one side, but again, it's not on the other side, which is kind of lame. It would have been pretty easy to do anyway, I think. And from the same early skins, you can see that it's not well finished, and it looks like it's worn or something, but I've been told it's because the gradients are poorly made from the early skins, so it makes it look bad. So it looks unfinished all over the edges and so on. Sushi told me about this and posted on my YouTube to tell me that was the issue, so I don't know if they will ever fix it. Probably never. It's been 2 years anyway, so. But in game you hardly see those things. You have to really look into it to really see. Oh, okay, that's bad stuff. And now to the legendary, which is pretty fitting for a Russian kind of theme. That's Vlad's Rodina. Oh, the mint's on the market right now. So we'll see the lightly marked, which is a little worn here on the clip. The mint is really flush, and there's nothing there. So that skin has a lot of custom mods. The stock, the grip, the clip, and the whole barrel has custom parts, like 3 of them I think. The muzzle with the wolf thing, I don't know what it is. So it really has like the St. Basil Cathedral again, the Russian colors. I'm not sure what that symbol is. Some people can probably tell me. And this is probably, I suppose, the bear or the wolf. I don't know, to be honest. But overall, it's a pretty not classy, but stylish. It's definitely stylish, and they really kind of overdid it in many ways. A lot of people do not really like it because it's really so flashy. I'm personally fine with it. I do mod it sometimes, even though the game's not supposed to allow you that. But I'd often put a DMR barrel and keep all the rest as it is. Overall, it's a decent early legendary. It's just that there's a lot of custom parts to it, which actually sometimes is the reason why you get marked as a cheater, even though you don't mod it. You just bring it like the regular one, and you will get a cheater tag just for having it. It happens quite often, actually. And I guess now it's time to open some saves, which I do have 20 of those babies. And let's see what happens. Starting with an uncommon, that's not bad. Black ball. Lightly marked. It doesn't look very different from the mint. I guess all the Broncos look pretty good lightly marked all over the board, regardless of skins, which is nice. Claim my skin and go back. Woo, another uncommon. Wow, strap on. Broken in. Little scratches on the body, a little bit on the clip, a little bit on the barrel. It's not bad. You wouldn't see much of it during game. Oh, finally a blue pixel. Battle worn. Oh, that thing. Wow, it has worked. Somebody scraped it on the ground or the road or something. That's really bad. Some people do like that style though. Oh shit, a rare, and an ugly one at that. Lightly marked. That's kinda cool, I guess. It's hard to see any flaws on that thing. A little bit on the grip. A little bit on the end right here, you see some body is surprisingly nice. A little bit of wear here. Hard to see. Same here. Not bad. Ooh. Headline? Mint, no question. That's okay, I guess. I don't use it, but maybe I'll donate it to someone. Oh wow, this was close to that stupid red. Red stars. Broken in. Yeah, the Cobras don't show too bad, actually. You see mostly the wear around here and under where you hold it. And a little bit on the stock, on the back of it. Right here as well. Not bad. That's a headline. Whoops, sorry about that. I know the mint one, not really what I need, but that's fine. I don't really need anything anyway, but there are better things to get. And a pixel. After starting with a rare and a couple uncommons. And a mint one, it looks a whole lot better than the completely wrecked Battle War. Oh god. Let's see how it looks. Hopefully not a mint. Well used. That's definitely more worked. It's chipped everywhere. Wow. The red is completely gone from the handles. Pretty much. Wow. Red stars or Saint Basil? Saint Basil. Well used. That stuff is definitely worn, especially here. You can see that the canister is definitely seeing a lot of wear in that area. The straps, the handle, the muzzle, the body is all bittered up. Wow. Leopard. Well, definitely kind of messed up around the handle. A little bit around the hammer side. It doesn't look terrible though. Definitely used. Whoops. Nope, not that. Oh god, another one. I don't see the relation with Russian skins on this one. Well used, definitely more worn again in that area. Around here. The bottom part also is messed up. Oh wow, it's kind of close to the Angry Bear, but nope. Lightly marked. Oh wow. That's that's pretty worn for a lately mark, but that's an issue that all the rocket launchers have. The lately marks look like broken, you know, if not worse, to be honest. It's a lot of wear here, like the handles are like 40% gone, pretty much. So it's Overkill's job. They didn't really do the damage pattern very well. They probably should scale back some of the medium ones. Keep the battle worn as it is, but lift everything else up a little bit so it lightly marked doesn't look quite as shitty. It looks almost well used or broken in. But they probably will never do it. It's been 2 years. Passing the breaching hull and getting a leopard again. So we saw well used and broken in. Let's see. Well used. We saw that already. A stat headline between reds and purple. Oh shit. Battle worn. Jesus, that thing. That thing has seen a lot of abuse. The red is almost like 90% gone on that thing from the handles. Everything else is rusty and beat up. Poor skin. That's no way to be. Too much abuse. Oh, again, I was close to the red, huh? But no. That game always taunts you. Lightly marked judge. Looks pretty good. Tiny amount of wear. It's not bad at all, not like the rocket launcher was. It's nearly mint. It's hard to tell the difference. It's a little bit of blushing here. Some around the handle and the trigger. But the rest looks pretty nice. Hard to tell a difference. Four more drills. And the beautiful red stars. Broken in, which we saw. That's a pretty weird skin when you apply mods on it. It looks really funky. Cosmonaut. That's the first one, I think. Battle one. That's not quite as bad as a rocket launcher, though. You can still see a fair bit of the yellow and only some wearing on the edges, which kind of makes sense. Like the ends of the barrels. The body is definitely all scratched up, but not to be battle worn. It's not horrible in my book. So the wear tables are pretty uneven from weapon to weapon. Two more saves. And a bow. Lightly marked. You can see the wear on the handle for sure. That's pretty high for lightly marked. I'm kinda surprised. And I don't remember seeing that orange stuff on there when we looked at the mint, which is kinda weird. That's very strange. Anyway. With overkill, you never know. And that's the last one, and we finish with the best. Red stars. Well used. That looks a little bit more dinged up than the broken in, but not horribly so. Definitely more chipping, but really it's not terrible again. A little bit more wear here. Not bad. Let's go and look what we can do with that skin. It's really ugly. You'll see what I mean. Oops, no. I need to buy one of those guys. Put the red stars on it. Maybe a better one. Here you go. Let's start putting some funky stuff on it. Oh, this one looks okay. Oh, this one I think looks like a Nerf gun. Here we go. Kinda orange and flashy white. It does look like a Nerf gun. It's kind of funny. Some people pointed that out to me, so I kind of wanted to see how they look. This one looks fine. I guess it's only some of the newest things that looks different. Wow, that's worn out. That looks okay. Blue. I don't think the barrels do anything. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's some of the newest site that they have, like the recon site. Makes things look like Nerf guns, which is kind of funny. But anyway, thanks for watching. Anyway, I didn't get much, but that was still entertaining.